today with me is a person who is already an author, plus and a mentor, plus the founder of a Yuva Sahita Abhiyan at the age of 12.
If there's any thought that you can't do this, I will absolutely do that. Like, it started from the age of 5. I was surrounded by books. So whenever I saw a book, I was like, I will also write it, because if people can, I can too.
So what was the first book that made you think that I will also write a book?
It was the book that every single child reads, which was Cinderella. I got to know when someone is lying to me, or whether someone is telling the truth, what they are feeling and all that. So I started with writing psychology.
Is curiosity something you're born with, or you get it after doing so many things? So what is it about?
Humans are born with curiosity, but it slowly diminishes when they see this bland life, and whenever curiosity dies, I would say that the ability to think and creativity also dies. So sad, and this generation suffers with overthinking a lot. Every single child is out there saying, I overthink. And that overthinking, they make, the problem is this small, and they just, widen it up, and it feels like a burden on them. But actually it's really small, and I would recommend that whenever you have a problem, just write it down. And
so today's episode is very special to me because I am talking with a person who didn't just read books, she wrote them. Hello everyone, this is me Bhavya, and welcome to the podcast powered by the Vedant International School. And today with me is a person who is already an author, plus and a mentor, plus the founder of a Yuva Sahita Abhiyan at the age of 12. Hello Advita.
And I hope you would enjoy this conversation, and I can see the nervousness on your face, but just be normal.
And she's to be honest, she's only 1 year younger than me, so it's kind of, I'm in astonishment to see that she's doing so much at the age of 12 while I was struggling with my middle school shit and all of those things. So welcome to the podcast,
Advita.
yes, Bhavya, first of all, I would like to thank you and the Vedant International Group for inviting me to this podcast. This is my first podcast, so I'm a bit nervous, but let's start.
So before going into the serious stuff, I would ask the very first question, which is you are literally a year younger than me. So do you ever feel like that everything is going so fast, or everything is so in pace?
No, I actually go with a rule, which is to be patient with results and be impatient with the action. I think about something, and if there's any thought that you can't do this, I will absolutely do that.
So did you come up with this thought, or you just read it somewhere?
I read it somewhere.
And before
going into very much serious stuff, I would ask again this question, that what makes you stand out from other 12-year-olds? What do you think? They are so much in their figuring out era right now, and you are so much different than them. I think so. You are normal teenager from the heart, but still you are so doing so much things in your life. So what do you think? And I would ask the contrary question to it, that who inspired you to do this? We need to start from the childhood.
Yes, I'd say that I asked my mother, it started from the age of 5. I was surrounded by books, alright. There were so many books at my house, and I did not, at the age of 5, I did not know what a book was. So I asked my mother that what even is that? So my mother told me that this is a book, and she was really annoyed while telling me, right? Because it was a really silly question. I am the person who asks the most questions, even in my classes, the teachers are annoyed by me. So I asked my mother, and she told me what a book was, who wrote them, how they wrote it. And after that, whenever I saw a book, I was like, I will also write it, because if people can, I can too. So then at the age of 6, I sat down with a notebook, and I was like, if they write this is what we write. So I filled out a page with a story, and that story was really horrible, to be honest. And then at the age of 6, I wrote a story, and then I looked at it. I was like, I am able to write. So then I filled out whole notebooks in the courses of months, And after that, my father saw that and he was like, let's buy her a laptop. So at the age of 7, I got a laptop. I didn't even know how to turn it on, alright. So then my father turned it on for me, taught me everything and all. And then I converted a page from physical to digital copy, and it took me 1 week to convert one page into the digital script. And then my father was like, okay, so you can just try and all. Like, I was really frustrated about it. So then I quit writing for a month and I started reading. Alright, so when it came to reading, I read so much. I explored psychology, I explored law, and many other things. And I have this habit to not see the heading and the author whenever I read. I just start with all the stuff that is written. So I don't really remember what I have read and all. Then when it comes to serious writing, I took a basic computer course when I was 9, and after that I learned how to use a computer. So after that I started serious writing.
So yeah, it is right that every person starts from scratch or somewhere, and you started at the age of 6. Maybe it would be, as you said, in a horrible story, or in perfect writing, or it had imperfect writing structure, but at least you started. And I don't know what I was doing at this age of 6. I was like literally listening music while turning on the TV, and I guess you are 2013 born. Yes, and I'm 2012. So yeah, we are kind of same generation, like Gen X, I guess. Gen Z. Yeah, we both are like Gen Z or Gen X. I'm not into that much. Like, I don't know what generations like approx years are, but I can relate with you. Like, basically, when I was at the age of 6, I had a hobby of dancing, and you had the hobby of like reading books. So, what was the first book that you read that your mother gave? As you said that your mother introduced you to books. So, what was the first book that made you think that yeah, I will also write a book?
It was the book that every single child reads, which was Cinderella. Every child has read that story, and I'd say it's kind of
like fantasy fiction, but
yeah, like everyone reads it. How is it so common that everyone has read Cinderella?
And yeah, I remember that till now my favorite color is blue because of Cinderella. And yeah, it was like when I was younger, I used to watch it, and I used to be like, yeah, one day you will get the man of your dreams, and it's like so fictional and fairy tale kind of thing. And yeah, so what was the like when you wrote your first book? It was also like a fairy tale or something like that.
It was directly psychology. Like, I used to read more psychology because it explained about how humans behave, and I read it and then I observed in my surroundings and I saw it happening. Alright, it was like body language cues, and I got to know when someone is lying to me, or whether someone is telling the truth, what they are feeling and all that. So I started with writing psychology.
Yeah, so I was about to ask this question, that is curiosity something you're born with, or you like get it after like doing so many things. So what is it about you?
like you were born with
Humans
it.
are the most curious creatures, and you can literally see the results of their curiosity here. Every single thing that is made by humans, and what makes them make it is curiosity itself. Humans are born with curiosity, but it slowly diminishes when they see this bland life, and whenever curiosity dies, I would say that the ability to think and creativity also dies, because when you're curious, you explore topics, and the more you explore topics, and this is how discoveries are made, right? If you're not curious, I'd say you just stick to one thing that you know, and you just be in your comfort zone or whatever zone you're in, and you never try to be out of that. And whenever you're not going out of that, you will stay in that single circle your entire life. And yes, curiosity is something you're born with, but as you gradually grow, if you're not having habits that keep your curiosity alive, it slowly dies.
Yeah, I'm also a strong believer that like whether you are a child, like I'm in my childhood or teenagehood, as much you say, but you still need to keep your inner child alive. You still need to you still need to have that spark that you used to. And like right now, it's like my first year of a high school. I'm already in ninth standard, and to be honest, like I wasted my whole class 8. Like it was the most horrible class for me, and I hope it does not turn out for you like that, because it would be the last year of a middle school and then you would go to high school. And so many, like I'm at the starting of the class 9th and so many things have changed. And I am so glad that I am so also proud of you as a stranger. Like I met you today only, and I'm so proud of you that you learned all these things at such very young age. Because yesterday I was like making a memory box that I would open when I would get 24, 25 to see things that how much I have accomplished. So I was writing things down and I was like, what have I done like my entire life? I was like writing things like I do not need to overshare, I do not need to make fake friends and all of that. And at such a young age, you realize all of that. So yeah, what your biggest support system would be your parents.
I guess.
Yes, my parents and my mentor, which is Neha Maheshwari.
And oh, so is she a relative or something?
No, she used to teach me math and she also did psychology. So I just really had a connection with her, and now also I'm connected, but she's not really physically present. We're connected online.
Oh, so yeah, and you are also mentor, I guess. You wrote.
Yes, I mentor people in my writing society, which is at my school, and they have a total of 112 members. And I also have am thinking of a mentorship scheme where I would just launch it online, and whoever would like to take mentorship about how to write books or how do we read or any kind of mentorship, I would just provide my services.
Yeah, because yeah, like you have a really nice idea. Like I think you started on April 13, your like writing club or something in your school. Yes. And how is it going so far?
It's going great. The students, I have seen changes in them. I had asked them questions and collected data. So their average, like the pace to generate an idea in their head was, before it was 12 seconds, and now in just a short period of time they are able to think of scenes, of characters and new ideas under 3 seconds.
So you teach students like elder than you. Yes. So yeah, so people do people come to you and be like that you are so good and all of that.
Yeah, whenever they compliment me, I just, I'm so used to compliments that they don't, I don't take pride in that. Alright, I am just like, I have knowledge and I would share it to you. Instead of them giving me a compliment, if they tell me that I had done this inspired by you, or I had learned this and I had done this, if they accomplish something that is better than them coming to me and you are so good, you are so excellent. Not like that. I love that you did this and I got inspired and I also did that. That's a better compliment.
So for you, compliment will be as per your point of view that someone tells you that you can excel in that. Like someone gives you advice. So like as I asked you about curiosity and all of that childhood, so I also got to know that you are also flute. You also play flute. Yes. So what like you also play chess, I guess. Yes. So I think chess must have helped you a lot during a formative years, because I think chess is the only sport that people advise to start with young, and like
It's a strategy game, right? It just helps your brain to function when it comes to strategies, and there have been research that people who play chess are like their brains work a bit faster than people. I first started chess when there were tournaments, and I was just introduced to chess, and I just looked at it and I was like, my kitchen floor looks like it. Alright, so then I went home, and my father really, like, he's a pro at playing chess. I don't know why he doesn't play tournaments. So I asked my father, and my father taught me how to play chess, and then I went to the auditions with full confidence, and I was like, yes, I can also play, and I lost 5 out of 5 matches. and then I quit for a month, and after quitting I just realized that I'm quitting. And after looking at it, I was just like, there are some stages, like some people think about it, some people plan, some people take the first action, and then some people take consistent action, and some people don't quit, and the ones who don't quit are the winners eventually. So then after that month I started playing chess regularly, and then after a year, once more the auditions happened, I got selected in the school team and I played the district tournaments.
At which year you started playing chess?
I don't quite remember, but I played the tournament when I was 11, so you can say that I was 10.
So I can see that you are a very curious person from the bottom of your heart and very good observer. Because like you notice that your kitchen floor looks like a chess, and it's such, and I am like very amazed how you said it, because all when I like if I correlate with you, I remember that when I was young, I used to I used to like watch movies or listen to music, and I used to be like that. Also, like you, when you are younger, you realize that when you are moving somewhere or you are going somewhere, so you notice that moon is going with you or sun is going with you. And I am just saying this very out loud, that when I was like 10, till 10, I used to think that moon is like my brother. Like he's going with me, and he's like keeping, and because I was so much obsessed with Cinderella, you won't even like imagine that I used to be like at night the fairies would come, and I was living in my like fairy tale kind of world. And then I like, if I said say in today's language or slang, I was so delusional, was so in my delulu. But I think that it's a part of your childhood, and you really get to know. And I want like my spark back, because like right now I am struggling to read my textbooks, and you are the one who have wrote 5 books. So if I ask you a question, that what book is the most of you like you have written?
It's Ink and Poison, which is the latest book. It's about the Chinese history, and it's not quite exactly Chinese history, but the aesthetic of China is there, alright. And I really love all the atmosphere of China and all, so I just decided.
So what's like you got an inspiration from a drama, I guess. So which drama was it?
I think it was named something Bon Appetit, Your Majesty. Yes.
I also watched it. Yeah, it's a K-drama. Yeah. So what like Korean and Chinese culture hold a lot of similarities between them, and so is it a rom-com? And I just read the first two pages, and it was like it was of something. The protagonist's name was Lee Swan. Yes. And he was sitting under a tree, and I really like the first line you wrote, that this is for the book for the people who hide their emotions between behind their face as a mask. It was such a great line. I was like, how did you come up with that? Because I could never. I had like read 10 to 20 books as per now. Like I am a kind of person who does not read self-help. I find self-help so boring. I was like, I want to watch Pride and Prejudice, because I thought that the movie would be more interesting than the book, but I left it in the half. Then I was like, I would watch the Forest Gump. I didn't. I don't hold any interest in the self-help, but I think I want to start a new habit. So as per, if I talk about myself, I've read like 10 to 20 books as per now. They were all like fictional: Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, a good.
When it comes to self-help, they actually are boring. And to be honest, self-help doesn't help at all. Like, I have read Atomic Habits, really trash for me. Alright, and when you go to book talk and all, everyone's opinion is that we won't read self-help because they actually don't help. Alright, you could better read an encyclopedia rather than reading a self-help. And children just feel that reading is a really boring task, and whoever just says that out loud, they haven't read any books themselves. Alright, they are like, they see people reading or writing, and they are like, how can they sit in silence and do this? And they're like, this is really boring. But when you actually pick up a fictional book, alright, which has stories, it makes your mind see more broader perspectives, and people just refuse to change their perspective on something, and that is why most of the arguments and all happen, because people see a thing, there is one thing that one person is seeing 6 here and the other one is saying 9. Alright, so that is a visual representation of how point of views work, and reading actually helps you broaden your perspective, broaden your knowledge, and also gives you a nice vocabulary.
I feel like, yeah, it's very true, but I feel like in India we have like so much, like we all have that FOMO of studying. Like people are, you must have like listened jokes that only thing I remember while reading books is to I remember my sleep or anything. So people, and like when kids are in India, kids are not normalized to read books at from a very young age. We are like allowed to play and all of that, but books are like. Okay, I remember that my brother introduced when I was in class 6. My brother introduced me that books are not just about subjects. It is beyond that. You have like fictionals; they are different. And he was like, at such a, I was like, I would read Cinderella, but only because like till now my favorite color is blue. So I was like, I would read Cinderella only. I would not read anything, and books are so boring. And he was like, you. He was like, you are so dumb. Like you need to read a book. And he was like, and he's like 6 years older than me. So when he was like in fourth or fifth, he has been reading books ever since. So he recommended me that you should watch The Unlisted. It is a like very niche Netflix drama, and I would recommend you all to watch that. And its fandom is so small that we could like fit in a bucket. Its fandom is so small that is so niche on Netflix. You would like, I also got it while scrolling. So like so you should watch The Unlisted. And it was my first drama that introduced me to read a book, because it is a story about two twins, Kal and Dhruv, and I watched it in I guess 2018, and I like it is in my rewatch marathon whenever I go rewatch anything. So it is in that. So I like read my first book was The Unlisted because I watched the drama and I was like, I would slot my friend that I would read a book, and they have not. So I read that. And the second, I also watched there's a like series on Prime Video which is Just Add Magic, and it is the best series. Like it is, I have like watched so many series, and I would recommend you all to watch that. It has like 5 to 6 seasons, and I've watched it so many times. And I also wanted that book. It is based on a story that there's a magical cookbook. As I said that I was in my Cinderella era. I loved like fairy tale kind of things. I was so delusional. So I was like, I loved the idea of Just Add Magic, and I told my mother that I want this book. But when I checked its price, it was like $52, and it was not available in India. So ever since that, my perspective about books was changed. Like books are so expensive. Like you would like you would give them to a of someone you need. And because ever since I have been growing up, we see that we give our old books to someone, and it's like
There is actually a perception in India. Why do children hate books? It comes from a deep down thing that they read books for marks. Alright, there is competition along the section, along the school, in states, in this entire nation. They just degrade books and knowledge down to marks. If you get 99%, you will get this as your reward. Parents are like, why did you get 75 out of 80, and where did that 5 marks go? And parents actually punish them. Alright, so whenever children just look at books, they think like, if I don't, they associate books with fear somewhere in their brain. And I read psychology, so after that, in the child psychology, whenever you punish someone regarding something, they slowly start to hate it. Alright, children now don't understand the difference between textbooks. Like they feel like textbooks are boring, and they actually are boring because they are designed to fit millions of children. Alright, they cannot be towards one interest. Like if someone is an artist, so he or she would like examples around art only, right? In maths, like you could say there was a canvas of 40 into 20, and what would be the paint value and all like that. But in textbooks, what we get is there was a square and these were the dimensions and find the area and all. But children actually associate books with their trauma, I would say. So they hate reading and writing because there's somewhere trauma and they just are like, I want to sleep, I don't really want to read, and it's boring. They are having conceptions and their own things, and that is when it comes to perspective. Alright, and they don't really start reading and writing. There are like can you name a skill that writing does not develop or reading does not develop? Because somewhere by writing you would develop a vocabulary, you would have skills of expression, and whenever you're sad, and this generation suffers with overthinking a lot. Every single child is out there saying, I overthink, and that overthinking, they make the problem is this small and they just widen it up and it feels like a burden on them, but actually it's really small. And I would recommend that whenever you have a problem, just write it down and look at it. You would see that this is the problem.
And I also started journaling from at the starting of 2025 because I was like struggling with a lot of things. So I was like I would write them down because I saw a lot of my foreign creators. Haley fam. She was like, you need to journal things and you would like get all your emotions or all your problems written down on a paper and they would disappear. And I was like, okay, I would also try that. So at the very first month, I started journaling that what did I do today, all of that. But in the middle, I was like, it is not helping me at all. Because if I reflect my this version to that version, it was like I was writing down good words, like good vocabulary, just to like make myself feel good, just to satisfy myself. Because, for example, if I take an example, for like I used to like when you if you have like if I make you read my journal and all of that, it has overthink word written so many times. And even if I didn't do that, I would just write them down because it seems so good. It is so good a word. And yeah, people make a small thing like a molehill, and it's like very true. And overthink is I would say that the more you get out of your comfort zone, the less you overthink. And because you encounter so many of your fears, like when I was in fifth or sixth, I went to an English institute to learn spoken English, and I was like, it is not helping me at all. It is the same English class I get in school. But if I reflect my version to that version, I'm like very proud of myself that I did that, because now the confidence that I have came from that. And I also got compliments from very young age, and I used to, but I was not like you. I'm just being very honest. I took them as like overconfidence, and like teachers also encountered me for that. That you need to get out of your comfort zone. You can't be like that. You don't have. And I was like, they are talking this thing. They like are jealous of me. I had a very different perspective. But then I read books like my second book was Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and where I saw the protagonist Pip talking about her feeling. Like she was also overconfident, but then she at the end of the book she realized that I could not solve this case, and then the second two parts come up for that. So I was like, yeah, Pip is me and I'm her, and we both suffer from the same problem. So I got in the half of my 8th class got into I had superiority complex, and I think I do have it a little bit till now. But when I listened about you, and I have taken like 2 or 3 podcasts till now, and I was like, world is so beyond like what I was thinking, that like my friends are like this, but there's so much things beyond that, and I realized that. And when I look at you, I was like, I also wrote a book. It was like 25 pages, and it was based on a character named as I was so like I didn't come up with my original ideas. And to be honest, like in 8th class, I use ChatGPT for everything, and I so regret it right now that it has like ruined the way my brain thinks. Every time that teacher gives you homework, I'm like, I would ChatGPT it. This is so normal, and I so regret it that much. And like we used to get summer vacation homework, and I was like, who's going to write these essays? And I was just
Paste it in the ChatGPT,
And yeah.
there is actually a research showing that brain activity actually lowers by the use of ChatGPT. And this is one of the problems, and if you lower the use, actually ChatGPT harms our environment, and data centers are coming to India, and yes, it would make employment higher, but there's a concern that I have, that what will happen of India, because we already have water crisis here, right? And because children are so dependent on using ChatGPT that if you even tell them to generate one idea, they type it.
Not yesterday, some days ago, like we had a children's parliament in our school. Where we were talking about like ChatGPT versus not ChatGPT, it was something like that. And I was like, I don't hold anything that I could say against about ChatGPT, because as someone who uses ChatGPT in everything, because in the middle of my 8th class, I remember, like I'm just talking about 8th class because it was so horrible for me. So I used to tell my school tea or anything to ChatGPT, and like it is so like they took off your data, and I was like reading about that debate, and I go into ChatGPT that my tomorrow's topic is debate about against ChatGPT, and I was like, I am talking about ChatGPT. I'm talking the cons of it. Still I'm used to searching ChatGPT. The first thing that comes to my mind when teachers gives us homework is ChatGPT. Like I would ChatGPT, and I'm like decreasing my use because my brain was so used to having ChatGPT. And I was one day exploring like the university options. Then I would go into this university, and I was reading a research of MIT student, and they were like, OpenAI can be banned in these years because it is making people dumber. Like the topper statistics have come lower. And I was like, yeah, it is so true, because I was also suffering from my downfall in class 8, because like we also all charge GPT. So as I read whatever you wrote in that page, you sent your biography, all of that. You said that I need non-AI writers, like they, yeah. So
I'm on that mission only to diminish or help people come out of that AI era, because human creativity is decreasing, and there are people on the social media which are like, you could actually see non-AI, like I am bored of your AI slop and all, and artists are protesting against it, but I don't see that much action being taken against it. And we are like, we sit in a room, everyone just goes, and we can discuss the problems, we can think about it, we can plan about it, but we take no action. Alright, so I was like, I can take action, I can. So and there's a mindset that I have, that whenever I feel like yes, this can be done and I can do this, I hold the power to do this. Whenever a thought comes that okay, you try it, stop it, I just I go into my room and think about it, that is this thought true, is this thought mine? And it actually helps me take action, because whenever you take action, your mind constantly tells you that you cannot do this, you will fail at this. Your mind makes up the worst case scenarios, but think about the best case scenario. Alright, when you think that what if I fail, what if you succeed, right? Your brain thinks about the worst case scenarios, but because it has that instinct to think about it to protect yourself. But think about the best case scenario. There are like, whenever we set expectations, let's say Instagram followers, alright, set the expectation for 5, alright, make the goal for 10,000 and take the action for 1 lakh. Alright, and then expect, and when you get even 1, be happy about it.
yeah, and even BookTok, I saw on BookTok a lot of BookTok creators are taking action against it, like banning the usage of AI. And like I was reading a book, to be true, in that acknowledgement section, the writer had wrote down that I thank ChatGPT for writing my acknowledgements, and people on Reddit was so angry about it, and I was also like, you are a writer, at least come up with your ideas. And she is like the author of that book is like very known, well known actress, and good influencer. She's very well known, and that's why she got the publisher Harper and Collins. And I do not oppose that. Yeah, influencers and very well known people can be writers, but she was in acknowledgements writing. The first thing I saw was, I don't read acknowledgement section, to be honest. I don't read them, and I also only read prologues and the chapter. But as she was like one of my favorite influencers, I was like, let me just read the acknowledgement. And to be honest, I was like amazed that the first thing she wrote, that I thank ChatGPT for writing my acknowledgement section, because to be honest, I have never read an acknowledgement, any acknowledgement in any book I have read, and I was like, yeah, people are so dependent on ChatGPT. Like even the writers are like carefree and writing about it.
Yeah, I think that we might see the day that AI is creating and AI is reading. Whenever there are people who just take entire manuscripts of book and paste it into artificial intelligence, and it summarizes it, and they just read it, and if they are giving feedback, and they just give feedback based off that, there is no actual human output. And I just read somewhere that the AI generated human creativity is like whatever humans have made so far is officially less than the AI generated content. Every script, every ad, every second ad I see on YouTube and whatever place I'm using, or wherever I just see AI generated things. Like it's not just this, it's this, and ads, photos. It's so normalized that you are degrading your standards, and one day that might be that all the ideas sound the same, everything is same, bland, it lacks human emotion, and we just fear, what if it's not perfect? And nothing is perfect. It all is supposed to be wabi sabi.
And I love the thing you said. It's supposed to be wabi sabi. And yeah, so I love this trend on social media that people were literally like telling their insecurities out loud. And there was one more trend on social media that was going on, that was Ghibli image trend. And then people were converting, like making into a like human picture, and they were literally taking literal human photo and pasting upon it. And yesterday I was reading one more thing about ChatGPT, that one like whenever you like log in your account in ChatGPT, it like measures all of your digital footprints, like your Twitter account, and just gives your opinion about like upon that. So yeah, ChatGPT is very normalized, and we need to like reduce the use of it. And if we talk apart from ChatGPT, I would ask you a question, that who is your biggest inspiration?
My biggest inspiration, I'd say it's Neha Maheshwari, my mentor. She's so relentless when it comes to herself. She's like studying from morning to night, and she's so disciplined, and she taught me about time management. She taught me a 60 to 40% rule, that 40% time should be for your hobbies and 60% time should be what is actually helping you. And one more thing is that we think that we have so much time. Alright, we will pass school, we will do college or university, and then we will get this job and life is set, and we will live in this big house with a car and this and that. This is the exact dream of everyone. Alright, and we actually think that we have enough time, we will do this, yeah, we will get this. And people think that yes, we will make a downfall first to get a comeback. They think it's stock market. It's not. It's your whole life. Alright. Focus. It is my advice to focus on the next 24 hours. Like take a goal, no matter how big or how small, and paste it in front of you on your table, and every single day just go and look at it 2 minutes, and then ponder about your entire day, about those 24 hours. Did that 24 hours get me closer to my goal or get me further from my goal? Alright. And there is that we compare ourselves to standards that high, that she did this at this age. Ask yourself, has there been growth? And no matter how much, or no matter how much, has there been growth? Even if by 0.1%, there's a thing going around that 1 to the power 365 is 1, but 1.1 to the power 365 goes for 37 or something like that.
So yeah, like as you said, the 1.1 example, and I just remember a quote that even small habits hold big changes in your life, and it completely resembles that. And also the thing you said that the people have goals set, and it's usually the millennials mindset that they pass down to their children because they have got them from their ancestors. Like first, if their goal is to become a doctor, first perform good, like your 10th standard, get 90%, then go to 12th, then score 90%, then go into good government college, and then practice for like MBBS, then become a doctor, and your life would be set.
Yeah, it's
And-
the same robotic structure for everyone.
And it's the same continuous cycle that is going on.
Yeah, the human warmth, the human enjoyment, and all that is just diminished. Like you have only one life, enjoy it. Like, you know, I am on a mission to make reading once again popular, because people are so addicted to short things that, you know, like short attention span things. Like they are so addicted to reels, they can give hours, like 4 hours, 5 hours even, and it increases on exam days, right? Whenever you have an exam, just before that day you are interested in everything else except for studying. Why? Because studying has given you enough trauma that if I don't study, if I don't get these marks, I am done for, I am doomed. This mindset is what is making the children of India a bit scared, because I have seen that children in India have a lot of potential. They have so much brain in themselves, but they just are, I can't do this.
Yeah, average IQs of Indians are like is higher than other countries. And if I like the continuous cycle going on that ye kar lo, settle ho jao, ye kar lo, and then when the person get all of these and he she realizes that he she realizes that I have not achieved anything yet because I did not focus on my personality development. Rather than I want this degree, I want this degree, and they treated the study like a chore because they wanted to get marks. And as Bunny says in Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, that you can't eat dal chawal for next 50 years. And it is so true that life is so adventurous. You need to explore other things. You need to get out of your comfort zone. And you take an example of an ant, that if you draw a circle, the ant would not pass that because it thinks that this is my boundary. But there was like two ants, like the one was like they trained it, and the first one was they did not train it. And I don't know that how they trained the ant, but when they draw like circle and it passed down, it is like, and the ant was like normally, and the second ant was seeing the ant, that how did they cross the boundary. So it is a perfect example that you need to step out of the comfort zone. And I also, when I thought that my first draft of my book was of 25 pages, because there's a influencer on YouTube, Ali Mary Books. She was 13 when she wrote her first book, and I want to read that book, but it is not available in India. It is the girl named Ivy, and she is like right now 17, and she like has written so many books, and I was very inspired by her. She's a very niche creator. Like she has 35k like subscribers on YouTube. So I got inspired by that, and I was like, I would also write a book. And the first draft, I like if I read that, it is like total waterbed story. It is so bad. It is so bad because, and it is like based on Cinderella, because I kept the protagonist's name as the same as Cinderella. And to be honest, I'm so obsessed with it, and I was so. But I think I did good writing it down, because I know that yeah, I can do better than that. And as you said, so like the if we go further than the questions, then the question that what was your peers' reaction when you started
Peers
writing?
didn't really, motivate me for anything. They were just like, oh, you did that? You used ChatGPT for it. That was the literal reaction. Alright, and I was like, I spent 7 years of my life honing an art, and you are coming and telling me, oh, you used ChatGPT for that, right? I was like, these are my peers, them. And there's a saying that, to be the smartest in the room, like if you are in the smartest in the room, you have to change the room. alright, or you will just look at the people around you and be like, yes, I'm superior, I'm living a really nice life, I'm the best. But when you get out of that zone, people are like, get out of your comfort zone, but when there's some person in front of you listening, right, that get out of your comfort zone, alright, and they just go on with their lives. But when you tell them that look around you, is there anyone who is better than you, who inspires you to be more, or who you think that yes, she or he or she is doing more and is better, is there someone like that? If not, you are living in a comfort zone. If you are not, you are just going home and scrolling all day and sleeping when getting to your routine. You are not building anything. You have only one life. Make it matter, make it count, make every single day count, because you are writing a story of your own life. Imagine that if you write a biography of yourself, or if I tell you to stop your life to this day, and if I rewind that, would you like to live it? If you would like to live it, then you have done an excellent job. If you won't like to live it, then start from this day and make every single day as if that yes, I absolutely want to live that life.
And yeah, such a deep thought that you said, that if you're smarter in the room, change the room. Yeah, it is so right. Like my science teacher, my science teacher used to tell us that the toppers who are thinking they are toppers, please see world beyond that. And when I went to the competition to another university for science fair, I was so amazed that people are like this. They are smarter people in that. And when I went to my brother's college, I was like, everybody there is a topper. You are not the only one. You have to fight for your existence. You need to make your existence matter. That is why Gen Zs are suffering from existential crisis. This is the most common word they are using. That I don't know what is my existence. And Olivia Rodrigo and biggest superstar, who I think had a perfect life, perfect things. They have money, but they still think that why does my existence matter? Because this is happening to them also. So you don't need, and I got that you do not need to perfectly idealize a person. I used to idealize Taylor Swift, she is so pop star. She has a perfect life, perfect thing. Then I was like, she's also suffering from inside. She also wants to know her existence, why her existence matters. So yeah, people need to take things they love. People need to take the work they do for economic things as their love. Then they will be able to do it better. And the next question is, you mentioned editing is the hardest process. What was more hurtful, that deleting your favorite sentences or starting your script?
Editing, it feels so tiring, like looking at a 500 page. Like whenever I'm writing, I just write so much. The manuscripts go over 500 to 600 pages, and then I'm like, how am I supposed to delete things? Like every single thing, I have typed it from my hands, and it feels like, why should I delete this? But no, according to this industry, even book is an industry, and people use books as an earning, and yes, books do earn a lot if your book gets famous. And I was just like, can't I just publish it as it is? And then there were standards and all set that no, a chapter has to be only 4 to 5 pages to keep the reader engaged and all. But when it comes to editing, it's just so tiring, like someone do it for me. But again, it comes that I am not going to quit. That again, that mindset comes in that no, you can do this. Even if you're tired, take a rest, get back to it.
And yeah, most of the writers also edit their books by themselves, because they are like, I know my book, the idea of the book behind the pages better than anyone else. So they do edit the book by themselves. And yesterday I finished a book which was picking daisies on Sunday, and just for this podcast I memorized the author's name, Liana Cotti. I don't know how to pronounce her name. And it was her first book ever, and I really loved the book. And it was better than typical rom-com, because I have read 3 rom-coms till now. and I love the idea of it because I think, firstly, I'm very scared of Stephen Hawking books. They are so big, and I was like, whenever I was like, I would not read a horror book because whenever the horror scenes would come out, I would close the book. So what's the matter of reading a horror book? But I was like very tiny, and I was like, I need something to for time pass. I would read, like I finished it in 2 days, and it was such an excellent book. And I know that this was a rom-com, it is all fictional, nothing happened like that in real life. But it was so good, like the literature she wrote down, the kind of thoughts she like fully, like whether it was a protagonist or herself, but she like captured the literature so good. Like I loved the book. And then some days ago, I started following a page on Instagram, which was like Advita Book Club, in which I was like, I would also join it, but then I consulted to them, and they were like, we cannot make you join the group, like because we have only fixed member, and they every Thursday they do a vote, like which book is what, which book is not. So I was also like thinking of initiating this idea to do that. Why don't we start a book club that every Thursday we give each other like a same book to read. The next Thursday we discuss about it, and I was like, this like I was very eager to initiate this idea to you because like you hold like 112 people under your awareness mission or all of that. So I think you can make it happen.
Yeah, I can. I would just add it under Yuva Sahitya Abhiyan, and I would branch it out as the book club idea. And yep.
So yeah, people can join online. So I was like literally eager to initiate this idea because it is such a small town. I was like very amazed that Bhilwara also has a book club because Bhilwara does not even have a bookstore, proper bookstore or library. They don't buy books. So I was like very, but then I consulted with them, and they were like, the age group is like 35 to 45, and I was like, no, I can't join it. So yeah, we can make reading aware. We can take an action for awareness of reading. And yeah, I just wanted to give that idea to you that you can start it, and I would love to join it. And the next question is that I would ask your favorite drama, or like what is that one C drama that you feel most inspired about?
It's like the most inspiring was actually an anime, which was The Classroom of the Elite and Demon Slayer, because the animation was really nice. And when it comes to C dramas, I would mention again Bon Appetit, Your Majesty. It was wholesome, to be honest.
So Bon Appetit, Your Majesty is a K-drama, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anime I have also watched Demon Slayer, and firstly I watched it in Hindi dub and it was like Jal ye wo, but when I watched it in little Japanese I loved it, the animation, and it is an anime that totally makes you understand the idea of precision, the idea of like motivation, hard work and all of that.
Yeah,
So
and also Tanjiro, like how he is written, he is so kind, like he is, forgiving demons, literal demons, and it somewhere gives you the idea to look at people and think of their perspective, what they have been through, and why are they doing what they are doing. And then you'll understand that I am absolutely being cruel to them, and you would just have that forgiveness in you.
yeah, like the demons literally killed his parents, but still he like apologized them because it was not completely their fault. They were like, they were like doing what their master was saying. And I just like recently also watched the Castle movie of the Demon Slayer and also loved it. So I'm like, how many animes you have watched till now?
I'd say Demon Slayer, The Apothecary Diaries, and Classroom of the Elite, somewhat of Jujutsu Kaisen, because like I dropped it midway because I did not understand quite, and I would read more and widen my perspective so that I could watch it again and understand what the moral is, or what the writer or the person animating it that is trying to convey. And it is that every art has a meaning behind it, no matter what. And people think that, people just look at other people admiring art and they judge. Alright, there are two types of people, the ones who do things and the ones who judge them for it. And then there are person who want to do things, but then they look at the people judging and they are like, they will judge me for it, I won't do it.
Step back away from it. And I remember that when I told one of my friend, male friend, and I told him that I'm watching a K drama and I love, and he also watches anime. So he was telling me about it. So at first I was also like, they are like cartoons. Why do you watch it? It is like you can watch Augie and the Cockroaches, and he was like, just shut up and just watch it anime. And I was like, okay, I would. So I then watched Demon Slayer and I was like, yeah, he was right. It is actually good. Then, but the thing is that Korean and Chinese industry have like a lot of stereotypes. Like people, like I think male audience generally hates K-dramas, K-pop, only the idea of it, because they are wannabes and all of that. And I don't want to comment that even the people listening or watching them or the audience consuming them are wannabes. But I just made him understand that it is the art, you need to enjoy the art. You don't need to you don't need to judge the director or anything, the way it is coming from.
If it makes you happy, no matter what it is, how silly it is, do it. If you're happy doing it, do it.
And then I was like, you need to watch a C drama. So like my favorite C drama is When I Fly Towards You. It is the best C drama I've ever watched because it tells you the idea of like friendship, how friendship matters. And I love the storyline and all of it. So I recommended him that you should need to watch. He was like, what do you watch that? And he was like, I know he was joking, but still that racism jokes comes out that yeah, they have the lack of testosterone and all of that. But I was like, just watch it. Yeah, it's not matters. Like, just enjoy the art, don't judge it. And as you said that you just pick up a book and read it if you like,
Yeah.
And I think that's truly the definition that you don't judge a book by its cover. Because at first I was also, when I went to Crossword for the first time, when I was in the metro city, I was like, I want to go to Crossword, and I went it. And I was like, which is the most aesthetic pleasing cover on the book? Then I would read it. So there were like a lot of books, Cruel Prince, Percy Jackson, and I picked up Percy Jackson, and I was like, it is so aesthetically pleasing, it is so good. But when I finished my yesterday's book, its cover was also aesthetically pleasing, but it was not kind of aesthetic I like. So I was like, let me just read it because I need to do my time pass. I actually loved it. So I literally understood that you don't need to judge a book by its cover, little definition, and also in the metaphorical meaning. So if we do a rapid fire round and you just don't need to overthink and think this answer first. Writing or speaking?
Writing.
Fiction or reality?
Reality.
Discipline or motivation?
Discipline.
Overthinking or overfeeling?
Overfeeling.
Leader or observer?
Both.
One word your friend would use for you. One word your friend would use for you.
Extremely disciplined.
One habit you are proud of.
My writing abilities or my discipline.
One habit you want to fix.
My time management.
Favorite book.
Favorite book, Surrounded by Idiots.
Favorite K-drama.
Bon Appetit, Your Majesty.
Favorite movie.
Favorite movie? I'd say it's Raid.
Favorite anime.
Demon Slayer.
Favorite book for beginners.
Favorite book for beginners? There are a lot of interests but I'd say Reader's Digest.
So now this or that where you need to choose either one of them. So study for 5 hours or write for 5 hours.
Write for 5 hours.
No phone for a week or no books for a week.
No phone for a week.
Be misunderstood or be ignored.
Be misunderstood.
Read minds or control minds.
Read minds.
Famous or respected.
Respected.
Now we are coming to the closing question, which is if someone your and my age is listening right now and feels lost, what's the one thing you tell them to start with? And you need to see the camera to all the viewers.
I tell them to start with identifying their goals. Whatever your goal is, just identify that, and in the next 24 hours, set something that yes, I have to do this, and it shouldn't be too big. Like if you want to be a really famous influencer, right? And in the next 24 hours you can't be that, yes, in the next 24 hours I have to get 10,000 followers. No. Make content so great, so inignorable that you just do the action. Again, I would repeat that be impatient with the action and be patient with the results. Alright, when it comes to like, you just have to focus on the next 24 hours in front of you and whether they are taking you towards your goals or the lower. That's it.
So I hope you all love this podcast and as much as I did, and I love this conversation, and I loved the way she gave advices, the way she told her experiences. So I hope you loved it as well.
Yes, I also loved it. I enjoyed a lot.
And I think it was like 1 hour conversation, but still, I think I didn't get bored. I don't know about you. And yeah, and if you like this podcast, please subscribe to our channel, and there will be more episodes coming up.